Good morning. This is Shawn, doing my daily video journal for myself and for whoever else would like to watch it. Um, Yesterday was an interesting day in that I sort of had a breakthrough, but I'm not sure if it was actually a breakthrough, but it was helpful. Um, I noticed that I was defriended by a couple people on Facebook, and in in that thought process of seeing that come to fruition, I was mad. Um, I felt rejected, and I had feelings of abandonment that instantly came forward. I guess based on my understanding, they call that a trigger. Uh, Regardless, the anger started to manifest itself, um, and it kind of grew and it kind of grew. Uh, Sorry, the dog's staring at me like I'm crazy because I'm talking to myself. And I wasn't sure why. Um, my first instinct was to want to contact the person and be confrontational, or you know, a friend of the person and say, what's up with this. But luckily, I had my therapist who was coming up in a relatively short period of time from when the time that I saw this to the time between the time that I saw it and the time that I was going to see him. But in between that time, I had about an hour, so I got some lunch and I sat down and I was thinking, and I thought and I thought, and the more that I thought, the anger changed, or the direction of my anger changed. First, it started for me to be mad at myself over over circumstances that are not in my control. Um, what I realized, what is in my control, is how I respond. And through the thinking of all this, what ended up happening was, as I realized I wasn't mad at the person or the friendships or even myself. Um, I take responsibility for what's happened as far as me wanting to get better and me taking the initiative to get better. But through it all, what ended up happening was I came to the epiphany and the realization that I was actually really angry with my mom and my dad and my brother. And what the anger was surrounding was the treatment that I endured for such a long period of time, um, and the lack of self-esteem and lack of self-love that was pushed upon me was had manifested itself, and it finally came to the forefront of that's where my anger actually lies. And so after therapy, one of the takeaways was I'm supposed to, or I'm going to write a letter uh, to my biological family and just let the emotions pour. Um, it's basically going to be word vomit. It's not going to be cohesive, but it's going to give me the opportunity to express my anger. Because there's a subsequent video to this where, before therapy and after recognizing the the post existed, I was distraught. I was I was very distraught, and it was very upsetting. And it's, it's still very hard. It's still very raw. I still have a lot of emotion because I have a lot of regret of not tying all this together earlier in my life. And at the same time, I realized that through everything, I'm I'm a survivor, and within 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 all this, there is love for myself, and there is an appreciation for myself, and I need to focus on that because without focusing on that, I'll never be a whole person. Uh, and it was just very eye opening to understand and have the ability to release release anger that has been pent up for so many years, finally finally begin to be released. With that said, did I get all of my anger out? No. Do I still have a lot to process and a lot to work through? Yes. But the past 2 weeks, I've seen a fundamental difference in my perception of life. And while this my current situation is not what I want or what I had hoped for, but I still hope is driving me. And loving myself is driving me. And while going through this process of peeling back all the layers of the onion of a lifetime of rejection, a lifetime of pain, is extremely difficult, but worth it. And I think I said this maybe yesterday, is this is for the first time, this is healthy pain, and I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to sweep it under the rug because I'm processing it. I'm learning from it, and I'm actually growing from it. Um, I woke up this morning. Well, I'm tired because Buddy was kicking and clawing, and he had a rough night. I woke up. I'm not sure how. Like, I woke up in a good mood. It's not really a good mood. It's more of a good place. Uh, I'm. I don't really know how to explain it other than I woke up with a more solid understanding of what I'm capable of and what I have the capacity to do, because I have a very strong capacity to love. And with that love, comes a loyalty that I'm now starting to experience for myself. And it's even showing when I saw my psychiatrist yesterday too, because when I saw everybody the week before last, no, last week, I was confused, I was scared, and I still am. I'm confused and I'm scared. But again, I have not lost hope with what's happening. If anything, it's given me a greater amount of hope to say that it's going to be okay. Um, as it was pointed out by myself and through conversations with my therapist, I, above all else, am a survivor, and I'll keep on surviving. It's what I do. It's what I've always done. Except this time, surviving doesn't feel like just surviving. It feels it feels like it feels as though I'm not really sure what the words are or what the feelings are because like I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'm talking to myself or if I'm just talking, but uh, I don't want to be in the third person talking back to a screen. So I've never had this before. And if I notice today, looking at myself, looking back at myself, um, while I'm tired from Buddy keeping me up or not letting me sleep very well, um, I I look healthier. Uh, I'm looking down because I'm sitting in a chair, but I'm I can look at myself, and I it's interesting because I can I see why other people think I'm attractive, um, and I mean, I'm I'm a handsome guy, and but I have personality and I have education, and like I don't even I always saw my bipolar disorder, and I guess now what is considered complex post-traumatic stress disorder as a flaw, as a burden, as something to be ashamed of, and people should be afraid of it. And I've been afraid of it, but I don't feel afraid. I don't feel afraid. I don't feel afraid. Uh, it's it's very it's I don't know. I'm looking away because I'm trying to find the correct words, but I guess there are no correct words for how I feel. Um, there's there's this sophistication to me that I've always tried to present as a facade, but this is genuine, and I can smile because it is genuine. I'm not making it up, and I'm looking forward to seeing Doug tonight because he's one of the closest people. He's family, and he'll see it. He will see it. Um, I just hope it's not too late for Scott and I. That's the scariest part right now because he's one of the people who has stood by me. He his love and support never faltered, and I'm really sorry that I didn't see that, but I couldn't see that through my pain. But now I do, and I miss him. And I hope that I can undo what I've done. I mean, I can't undo it, but I hope that I can demonstrate that I'm not that person. I don't even need to hope about it. I can demonstrate that I'm not that person. Like, my capacity to love, my capacity for empathy and just my overall capacity for people and life and living is I far surpass many people because I actually care, and for the first time, uh, I'm I'm noticing people actually care for me. They love me. I mean, they love me, and I'm starting to love me. Huh. I'm starting to love me. Still lots of recovery ahead. Still lots of things to work through, but I finally feel as though it's the right psychiatrist, it's the right therapist, and it's the right time at the right place. And I think that's it for today. You know, I'm going to try to make it a busy day. I don't have meetings scheduled, but I have homework to do. And I'm going to make the most of, I'm going to make the most just of whatever it is. All I can do is continue to try, continue to find myself, and we'll take it from there. So, good luck today, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.